Brianna was a much-loved daughter, granddaughter, and baby sister. The loss of her young life has left a massive hole in our family.
Hashtag Say Your Name started trending due to mostly white queer people using it for Brianna Gay. This phrase / hashtag was created by and for black women who are victims of police violence like Sandra Bland and Breonna Taylor. We requested them to use other hashtags like Her Name is Brianna. Black people that spoke up were being harassed, dogpiled, and called psyops by the racist white trans community.
Someone just got stabbed to death, and you're like, oh, well, they're using the wrong hashtag. Like, what the? Get the fuck over yourself. You're so terminally online that a person died, and all you care about is like whether they're using the right hashtag to refer to their race or not.
During Black History Month, 16-year-old Brianna Gay was fatally stabbed by 2 other minors. Kayleen, a fellow trans creator, made a very powerful video on Brianna Gay. This video gave the needed tone and the raw and real breakdown.
It's just grief like flayed and then displayed because I don't know how else to process. I don't know what else to do. Like, what are we supposed to say? What are we supposed to do? She was 16. She was 16, and for years she was being bullied and harassed. And then Brianna Gay was stabbed to death by 2 other kids in broad daylight, a whole life gone. Maybe not a perfect one, but it was hers to live as she chose, or it should have been. I'm not going to make any claims about the motives of the killers. I'm not going to speculate on circumstances. Here are the facts. Every day, anti-trans narratives are being pushed by the media by disgusting anti-trans activists like J.K. Rowling, Graham Linehan, Kelly J. Keane, Matt Walsh, and organizations like LGBT Alliance or Libs of TikTok. Constant articles, videos, tweets, books, press conferences, news segments saying trans people are bad, trans people are dangerous, trans people are predators, they're sick, disgusting fetishists that exist only to harm women and children, an existential threat to humanity deserving of nothing but disdain and disgust, inhuman, expendable, worthless.
I've never heard J.K. Rowling say that, Sitch.
You didn't?
No.
It's all dog whistles.
Okay.
Well, and here's the...
I mean, I can't imagine her career not being over 5 minutes after she tweets that out. Like, trans people are disgusting. Look, I don't think anyone deserves to be murdered. I don't like, but using someone's murder to make some sort of stochastic terrorism argument here is just, I mean, that's pretty weak.
Right. Well, especially because, you know, and this person, I'm not familiar with this content creator, but they said, I'm not going to speak about their motivations. And when I looked into this yesterday, I don't think the police, because this happened in Britbong land, in Proto-America, I don't think the police have released, even though they caught the people, they haven't released their names because they're minors, and they haven't released the motivation or information about why they stabbed Brianna at all, from my understanding. So we won't even know what, you know, why they did this, you know, what was motivating them. So to kind of say, well, it's because J.K. Rowling and Libs of TikTok are creating this environment of sarcastic anti-trans terrorism. I mean, you can't even make that claim when you don't know why this person was stabbed.
Yeah, and I mean, I just find it disgusting that you'd use a dead girl's, you know, story to make that claim, to make some political argument. Like,
well, to be a little bit charitable here, if they believe that this person was killed because of, you know, these people's opinions, essentially, right? Like, if that was the case,
still
maybe you can make that
disgusting.
argument, right?
Still disgusting.
But since we don't know anything about that, and obviously I don't think, you know, J.K. Rowling or Libs of TikTok are advocating for anyone to be stabbed, I do agree with you that I think it is pretty reprehensible to
Matt
use
Walsh
someone's...
maybe, but not
Matt Walsh maybe. To use someone's... That was a joke. To use someone's murder essentially to attack them and say like, oh, well, you can't have a different opinion about certain issues relating to, you know, whether kids should transition or not, you know, to say, oh, you can't even question that, because if you do, someone somewhere in the world is going to be murdered by some crazy person. So therefore you're not allowed to disagree with me politically. I agree that's like a reprehensible thing to bring forward.
Totally reprehensible. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I know you've seen this video, so you know where this is going to go. For those watching who haven't seen this video, you buckle up, because you're not going to understand why this segment is being played until it hits you, and you're going to go, "Oh my god!" Like, it's gonna be like a big whiplash. Okay, you're like, oh, so on the
Get
left,
ready.
yeah, you're like a leftist. A woman, trans woman was murdered. You're like, okay, they're gonna be complaining about Matt Walsh. They're gonna be complaining about Lips TikTok, like kind of like the person you're watching right here, right? That's what you think this is gonna
Right.
go.
Put your neck brace on.
Yeah,
Get ready.
get ready.
This roller coaster's taking its tumble here.
Even in the coverage about Brianna being violently murdered, she's shown the maximum amount of disrespect and discrimination. The Times, shortly after their original article that referred to Brianna as a teenage girl, updated it to remove the references to her being a girl, changing teenage girl to transgender teenager, and adding in her dead name. Brianna's family.
Okay, so let me see. I have it open somewhere. I have too many tabs. I have an Adam situation because I went and I found that article, and I feel like they're like really over. Where the fuck is it? Like close
It's
it.
just so, oh God.
I feel like they're really over exaggerating the article because the way they make it sound is like the article is like
Dead named her.
yeah, like, oh, this boy who transitioned to a girl was killed. And it's like, no, it's like the article is just like, oh, this. Oh, here it is. It says, Brianna was born as Brett, but has been living as a girl for several months, according to the Daily Mail.
That's it.
That's it. And then it continues. Emma Fortune, who works in an optician's office, said that she had met Brianna and her mother last year. She said Brianna looked gorgeous with her hair down and her makeup. Her face lit up when I told her how beautiful she looked. When I found out she'd been killed, it was awful. I was so upset her mom would be devastated. And then the rest of the article just going on talking about like how upset people are and all the things you'd kind of expect from an article where a person was murdered. So just to me, to just acknowledge that they were transgender, I don't see that as like this horrible thing that the people were making out to be, especially because if the article didn't acknowledge them as transgender, wouldn't that be a form of transgender erasure?
Right.
They'd be saying, oh, the media is covering up the fact that this individual was trans and they were killed, so therefore it's transphobia. They're just trying to pass it off as like another white woman killed. Like this is exactly what you were saying. It's like the no-win situation. If you don't call them trans and that they were killed, you get attacked for trying to cover up trans murders. If you call them trans because they're killed, oh my God, why are you doing this?
Just to turn a tragic event like this into a way to complain about media coverage just sounds, kind of sounds like it's desecrating the memory of this poor person to me.
Right. Unless there was something really egregious that was worth calling out, which I don't think in the situation.
Yeah, this is just weird.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this person was trans. I saw people sharing this picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I mean, they pass.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just thought it was a woman that got killed.
Though I don't like that picture because whenever I would see it, I would think she was giving the finger.
The finger?
And I was like,
yeah.
Because that's what it looks like. And I'm like, why the fuck did they choose this picture? Like every publication chooses this picture. But
right.
She's just holding like a rock or something.
Isn't she eating an ice cream sandwich?
Oh, you're right. Maybe she's eating an ice cream sandwich. I know she looks like she's doing something, but
Really.
Brianna was a much-loved daughter, granddaughter, and baby sister. She was a larger-than-life character who would leave a lasting impression on all that met her. Brianna was beautiful, witty, and hilarious. Brianna was strong, fearless, and one of a kind. The loss of her young life has left a massive hole in our family, and we know that the teachers and her friends who were involved in her life will feel the same.
Okay. Secure your neck braces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Get ready.
Hashtag Say Your Name started trending due to mostly white queer people using it for Brianna Gay. This phrase / hashtag was created by and for black women who are victims of police violence like Sandra Bland and Breonna Taylor. We requested them to use other hashtags like Her Name is Brianna. Black people that spoke up were being harassed, dogpiled, and called psyops by the racist white trans community.
Okay. So in case you're like, wait, what's happening here? So the reason Sobrani brought this up wasn't because it was horrible that a trans woman was killed, or a trans girl was killed because she was underage. It was the fact that when she was killed, and because this, like, what I would call fake controversy around the times, dead naming her came up, people were saying, hashtag, they weren't even saying hashtag. Some people were just saying, say her name. Her name is Brianna as opposed to Brett or whatever her, given name was. And because people were just saying, say her name, a bunch of people, like So Bunny said, say her name? That was used specifically for Black women in the past. You shouldn't use that for this white woman that was killed.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck? Can you imagine? Like, someone just got murdered and you're complaining about, like, oh, the hashtag, was supposed to be used for people of a different skin color.
Yeah, is this the intersectionality lens when you turn it around and look the other way through it? Like, what's going
this
on
is like
here?
insane. It's like someone just got stabbed to death and you're like, oh, well, they're using the wrong hashtag. Like, what the? Get the fuck over yourself.
That's
shit.
cultural appropriation of our race hashtag.
Oh my God. But see, it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's insane to me. It's despicable. Like, you're so terminally online that a person died and all you care about is like whether they're using the right hashtag to refer to their race or not. I don't know. It's just like wild to me. It's wild to me.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.